Kia ora whānau, and welcome to a long overdue episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and first off, I apologise for not posting in the last 4 weeks. A lot has been going on, and that's pretty much what this podcast will be about. It'll be about the changes that I've personally gone on, and basically the deal of what's going on and how you can sort of change things a little bit more. So for those that don't know, New Zealand is back in lockdown. We are not locked down to level 4 like we were before. We are in lockdown level 2 in the area where I am, which is Wellington, and level 3 in Auckland, which is where we have a little mini outbreak of about 96 odd cases. So, because of that, I am now back working from home all day, which, as I talked about in my last episode, I do have issues with basically being by myself all the time, and while a little bit of alone time is nice, when I had sort of 6 weeks of having to do it when everyone else was starting to go back to work, it was very, very hard to deal with. And I talk about that with, dealing with stress, dealing with my sort of my mental health issues and all that sort of thing. So now that we know that we are back in lockdown and I'm sort of prepared for that, I am feeling a lot better. I can still go out a little bit, but I am sort of relegated to not going to my principal place of work. So that is a bit of a bummer, but unfortunately, not much we can do there. Another thing that happened is I moved out of my previous flat and moved in with my partner, which has brought a whole lot of different changes as well. The first thing being, it's a lot cheaper, which is good. So I'm able to actually, start saving for things and also start paying off all my debts, which is my main plan. The other thing is it means I am back on the keto, which if you have listened to my previous podcast or read some of my previous blogs, then you will notice that I have been doing a sort of a keto journey. And I'll be honest, the last couple of months it's been very much a dirty keto, to almost a point of exactly no keto at some points. But that has changed, of course. Now I am back on the keto and I'm eating a lot better. I've been living with my partner for about 2 weeks now. We're just coming up on our 2-week period of living together. This is the first time that I have personally lived with a partner, let alone a girlfriend, which brings its own set of dynamics, all of which have been actually pretty good, I'll be honest. So yeah, lots of changes. The other thing I've also done is, in regards to my passive income, I've also started investing a lot more in sharesies, which I talked about briefly, and I will talk about a little bit more in depth in another episode, in a future episode. But I've also started up another print on demand, a third one, which is one with Redbubble. So now I have 3 separate print on demand services. I have one through Threadless, which is my first one, and we discussed the Threadless one last time. I have my Teespring one, of which I've actually made a couple of sales. Granted, one of them is been, family, friends, and myself. But the reason why I've made those sort of payments is so I can start getting my Teespring score up. That way they will then start marketing for me. Now, I did talk about that just very briefly last time, that Teespring is able to market for you. The third one that I've only just started in the last sort of couple of weeks is a Redbubble print-on-demand service. Now, Redbubble is, I will go into it a little bit deeper in another episode, probably in my next update of passive income. But the basics, and change of Redbubble is you basically just upload your design, and it will print it on so many different products all at once. So you can have it on a lot more products than you could in any of the other options. But the other thing that you can do as well with Redbubble is you will arrange everything by tags. So basically, as long as you tag your products, they will be seen by other users and customers. Now, Redbubble and Teespring both have huge followings. The only one that I have not yet done is merch by Amazon. And I may look at doing them as well. They are the biggest to go for, but because they are the biggest, it also means they are the hardest to get into. There is actually a set of qualifying things that you have to get into merch by Amazon, which I have not yet done yet. But that's for a sort of future venture if I decide to do that. So, why the reason for no contact? Well, being honest, I've been focusing a little bit more on doing things like Facebook ad campaigns for my Teespring. And I had a little bit of success in regards to making a few impressions with people coming onto my page and stuff by using the Facebook ads. And I am happy to sort of discuss that a little bit later. And probably in my next podcast that I do talk about the passive income, I will discuss online advertising in regards to Facebook ads and what that Facebook ads give you, as well as in Instagram ads, what worked, what didn't work. And I'm actually testing a bit more out at the moment. I currently have and while this might sound like a shameless promotion, it's meant more as an example. I currently have a sale, which with Teespring, you can set up your own sales, which is quite cool. And so my deal is you can get $2.50 off American USD off every purchase. Now, the reason I've done that is because I originally did this call for the promo code MASK sale. That's all together, and that's all capital, so MASKSALE, no space. And that was going to get you the $2.50 off. Now, the reason why I've done that, I've done it until the 31st of August, but that gets me no profit on any masks sold. So if I do sell a mask, just one mask, then I won't make a profit on that particular mask, basically because I want people to be masked up. I want people to go get a mask, and while, it may cost a couple of dollars for people to buy a mask, at least if they've got a mask, they can be a little bit safer than not wearing a mask. And that's pretty much why I've done that. So, if you buy more than one option, then you will only get $2.50 off the total. The reason why the $2.50 is so low is because I actually already, when I'm setting my prices with Teespring, I lower my prices quite a bit. So I don't actually put quite a bit of price on there. So, I'm basically making no profit at all from that. And I'm okay with that, because I would rather people actually get a mask in the first instance instead. If you want to support me, go to my Teespring site, buy a sticker, buy a mask, whatever. I'm happy with anything, basically. But yeah, I started doing a Facebook ad based on using that sale, and just seeing how many people actually do go through and use the Facebook by clicking the links and going through to my actual site. I've run a campaign before for $60 New Zealand, which targeted some people in the US, and I got quite a few. I reached about 6,000 people, which was quite cool. I have also had a bit of a cold, unfortunately, so that has stopped me from pretty much doing much. Not the COVID, trust me, it's just a cold. But it's been interesting going back into lockdown and all that sort of fun stuff. As for the Facebook ads and stuff that I was talking about, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've also started using Google Analytics as well. So we will go into those sorts of things in a future episode. I do think they are quite helpful, and they are a good way to look at like how many people are actually visiting your website and all that sort of stuff as well. As for me, what am I doing at the moment? At the moment, I am adjusting to life with living with the partner, going back to keto. So still a lot of changes for me. Changes in a good way too. As I said, I'm starting to invest more in Sharesies, which is a New Zealand web-based investment trading scheme, and not an actual scam one, like an actual proper trading scheme where you can buy New Zealand stocks or funds, ETF funds, for those that don't know. It's quite cool. I'm actually getting a bit of a return, which is nice. Not a huge return, but it's something good, and it's just another way of being able to get a bit more passive income, looking at paying off debts, and then hopefully looking at buying a house and all that sort of things in the future. What else? Not really much else going on in my life. Still working, doing what I can, both normal work as well as putting the work in for my passive income. Trying to stay positive and mentally well. It has been easier. I have had some stress, I'm not going to lie. I've had stress with a family member, and because of me moving, it has been interesting. But we do what we can, and we try to get everything through as much as we can. I think the main thing is just keep focused, keep staying strong. I've lost a little bit of weight. I was sitting at about 123 kgs. Now I'm sitting at about 121 kgs since moving in, and hoping to lose a bit more and get closer and closer to my goal of like sort of 90 kgs to 80 kgs, and also be fit and healthy and full of energy, all that stuff that we all want. The one good thing about where I'm staying now is, so I am actually, even though I'm living with my partner, I actually have my own room, which is a good way of me being able to actually go through and, have my own time. She has her own time, which is really, really good for both of us. But sleeping in a room where we've got blackout curtains, so I'm actually getting proper sleep now. So I have this thing where I need pretty much mostly complete silence and also complete darkness in order to sleep effectively. And at least where I am now, there is, very little sound, and at least one of my curtains is completely blackout, which is very, very cool. So I'm sleeping a lot better as well, and of course sleeping better, eating better, feeling better. Even though I have a little bit of a cold, I'm not feeling like it's over consuming me and making me worse than I was. For those that do know me, they will know that when I get a cold, because of my immune system, because let's be real, I was pretty crap with most of my healthy choices and lots of things. I was not very well until I started going on the keto and all that sort of stuff. And so my immune system was very, very bad, in which case I would, get very sick very quickly. And because of that, now that I'm actually starting to do stuff with my life in a positive way, I am actually feeling a lot better. So yeah, that's pretty much been the update. I know this is a short podcast episode. If you do have any questions or you want to know more, please hit me up. All my social media stuff is in the show notes, as well as my on-demand, print-on-demand sites, my website, this podcast, everything's in there. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day. And if you do have any questions, as I said, please email me. My email is all lowercase, and it's Don Costas, that's DONCOSTAS @gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear any comments. What have you been doing? If you have also gone into lockdown, what have you been doing during this time? Like, if you've got any passive income questions, let me know. Maybe I can try and help answer them for you. And also, just take your time, and everyone stay healthy, get better if you can, as well as, mask up, keep safe. Love you guys, and have a great day, whānau, and good luck.